I never really saw anybody in media that was like, oh, like being a chef is something to be proud of. Being a chef is something that you can actually succeed in, and be great, be great, be great. All right, we're here today for our third episode of 1,000 Days. We chunking them down, right? 3 days. We had
only 997 to go.
Woo! Well, I think the topic today for us is going to be consistency. That word is a very heavy word that we just kind of let roll off the tongue and just say, consistency is the key to whatever. But what people don't realize is how hard it is to actually be consistent. So consistency is ugly. Consistency is not fun. It's not pretty. You don't get any claps for showing up every day. And that is that middle meat of getting to be successful. That is your
getting successful.
Yes, that is the journey of getting successful. So it's like, okay, you've built your foundation. So now the excitement is over. Now you just got to start nailing planks, nailing walls, putting the concrete down, redoing it, doing it again, doing it again, doing it again, then doing it again. And I think, going back to how we started at our restaurant, we was going 7 days a week. And because we focused heavily on delivery, we didn't get that dopamine, that rush of people really kind of clapping for us, really saying, oh, I love this food. Oh my God, this is the greatest thing. We didn't see that. A lot of times in restaurants, when you are making food for people, you can see their reactions. You can say they'll come and they'll maybe no, but we didn't get a lot of that.
I disagree.
Okay.
I think we saw it in the continuous orders of the same people at the same time.
Yeah.
Every day. Consistently. And so, you have to kind of take things in perspective, and you have to just kind of look at it outside that box that we're so used to, right? We know that a brick and mortar restaurant is to bring in people that sit down, they get served food, they eat, they say how good it is, they sign a check, they tip, right? I mean, that's the conventional style of a brick and mortar, right? Restaurant. Well, it just didn't look that way for us. And to a point, we were almost abused, PTSD, because then you would have some people who would complain about the food, and then the next day, they order again, and again, and the next day,
So
again.
Our claps just sounded like...
They'd be like, woo! But, hey, I'm going to get it again so I could take you out again. So, sorry. I think I disagree and say that we got our claps. You just have to know how to receive it.
Oh no, I mean, I don't think we didn't get the accolades. I mean, obviously we're here, we're still here, but just again, what it looks like, and I guess really for me, it's like the consistency of saying every day is going to be more, every day is going to be the same, every day is going to it starts to get monotonous in a way, but yet again, you can't skip that. You have to go through it. You have to just look. It's Monday. It's Tuesday. It's Wednesday. It's Monday again. It's Tuesday. It's just.
It sometimes feel like it's skip days.
Yeah, really. So.
Sunday again?
Did we just finish?
We just finished this. So, but what I do want to say is that it, like you said, to echo that if you look at it in the way of, well, we do have another Sunday brunch to get through. I mean, that's accolades enough to say, well, you could be chilling on a Sunday and you don't have no orders. So the fact that you already know they coming for all your net, I mean, you got to feel good about it. That's why even when the tickets was piled up, then we started a second pile. and then we put it on the refrigerator.
No. It was under the salt shaker first.
Under the salt
There's
shaker.
already 25 tickets on the rack, and then we got 15 under the jaw. Boom.
Yeah.
And then we graduated to the refrigerator, so the tickets was coming back to you.
But the thing was, it didn't stop printing.
It didn't.
And then,
And I remember when we learned that you could pause, like when you can pause DoorDash and pause Uber and all that, and before you could pause, it was still coming in. But you're right, I didn't pause. We wasn't pausing. Hey, look,
I was.
They gon' wait. Let me tell you right here. No. This is the point of all this thing. Anybody trying to run a delivery focused business on Uber Eats, Grubhub, DoorDash, they gon' wait. I'm here to tell you. Sunday, we would get a ticket at what?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
They wouldn't get their food till 1:15.
We giving them their food 1:15, 1:30.
Breakfast over.
You should have ate twice. No, the lady, remember the lady, one of the ladies was like, she said something about her kids is hungry.
Yeah, one, you terrible. For the record, for the camera. Lady, you terrible. But she got her food.
You gonna get it. Hey, one thing we prided ourselves on. You not gonna get it. We like, you know what it is? We still going to church Sunday morning. You going to church because just like the Lord said, He not coming on time when you want it, but He gonna be there on His time. You order from RVA Cafe. You getting it on RVA Cafe time.
And let's be clear, your food is not going to be cold.
It's not cold.
It's not
just
cold.
got.
Matter of fact,
It just came off the grill.
We haven't even seen your ticket yet. So it's not sitting
when
there
you
waiting.
called,
We ain't even got to you.
When you call,
And
talk
if we
about
said 15 minutes, we was lying.
yeah. Them drivers used to be hot. They used to
100%
be
the
lying.
drivers,
everybody.
the drivers,
Oh,
they
everybody
want how
used to be
long on
hot.
that ticket? 5 minutes.
That's it. See, I told you. That's the restaurantees. Look, 5 minutes.
5
mean
minutes.
10 minutes. Wait. It's coming right up. Mean 5 minutes. 5
Yeah.
minutes mean 10 minutes. 10 minutes mean 20.
I
And
swear.
15 mean we haven't seen it. We don't know what you're talking about. That's it.
Yes,
on.
that's definitely was that. I remember seeing somebody. I picked up the phone. It was like, I ordered such and such, and now we looking through the pile. all right,
Yeah, I see it right here.
we about to make it now. Oh, that joint was terrible, but nah, it's cool. But I mean, for real though, that is. That's when it's ugly, and you just gotta be all right with it. You just
That's
gotta
what
say,
consistency
"Look,
looked like. 'Cause that was every day. That wasn't even
And-
just a special day.
No.
That was every single weekend.
every weekend we getting smacked," and they came every weekend because they got their food. And see, the thing about it is, they just on delivery, they just want to get their food. The time, yeah, they're gonna
No,
feel a little
but-
bit better
I think
as long as you get it.
no. I think back then, I think there's a difference
Now, yeah.
now to then.
Oh, yeah,
Back
now
then,
people
it
little-
mattered
little
when
bougie.
that food it made it up to the front and left. Now, or that it didn't make it up to the front to leave. They would cancel on demand. I think now they're more willing and they have more grace. And I really think that comes from other businesses have trained them to be okay with waiting.
Yeah.
Well, I also
I mean,
think
you kind of don't have a choice.
I mean, you don't.
I mean,
You know?
now I think it's even more grace because again, it's such a widely spread thing. So now you have drivers even that are just lackluster. You have people who are ordering that just they don't really know that you live somewhere stupid. And it is what it is. Like, we got to say what it is. People, if you got to write a paragraph to find you, don't order. Don't, like, come get your food. Like, this is what I'm trying to tell people. Come get it. Because
It is a little bit of a
the
setup.
paragraph to, all right,
The paragraph is longer than the food
turn,
ticket.
yeah, right, turn left on third, but not the third that you see, the third that's behind the second parking lot, and then we're gonna make a left in the alleyway, and then it's a cat that's gonna be chilling there, that's always chilling there, and you're gonna go past him, and then you're gonna say, oh,
Nah.
well, it's some steps, but those steps broke, so then you gotta go to the second door steps and then come back.
No, tell him about the dude. He was in a bus. He
Oh.
said, yeah, it's a bus. Turn on this street. It don't have a name. Turn on this street. You're gonna see a red bus. I'm on that.
What are we doing?
Like, hold on,
Why are
bro.
we doing this?
No address, no nothing. Just I'm on that bus.
A
That bus
bus.
you see. Knock on the door. I'm gonna come to the window.
Come to the window, get the bus. Oh wow! But
He got his food though.
You got your food, and that's all you need to know.
Depending on the driver, but anyway.
Consistency. Get your food. That's it. But I mean, so that's really what we want to convey to anybody that's really trying to succeed, and it doesn't even have to just be a restaurant. Just any business, it's gonna get ugly, and you have to just stay steadfast in the ugliness and be okay.
It's a burn you can't even explain.
Be okay with it.
But I feel like it also plays to kind of what you said about not skipping any steps. Consistency is also a gradual thing. You kind of see the growth. Like I just remember when I started, like when I came in, it was literally just come in, stock the drink machine, and sit in the back stock room for 20 minutes until we get a grow up hub.
Yeah.
And then go out, take that, come back, sit back in the
Do it
stock room
again.
for another 20 minutes or so. To now I only got time to, like I said, wash a dish, and then I'm getting 2 more orders out the door. Come back, got 2 more. To the point where, don't even come in. We're gonna bring it to your car. Just roll your
come
window
in.
down.
Don't come in. We at the car.
Don't turn the car. Just pull up to the front.
We right there. Don't worry about that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But now, like I said, the gradual growth of it, I feel like that really depicts the consistency, and I feel like it just shows. I don't know, that's kind of a hand clap in and of itself. It just seems like, this is what showing up every day gets you. Because like I said, I'll do that for a week, 2 weeks, a month, but then the next month, so now I can't get out my car.
Yeah.
So the next month, now I'm in the kitchen cooking because
Yeah.
we need more chefs.
Yes. That's what you see. That's what I try to tell people when these drivers that used to come in with an attitude because we ain't cook it fast enough. What you're supposed to do, you're supposed to come in and help us cook it. That's what you're supposed to do.
Straight up.
Come help me. You see what you're
feel like
driving.
I've told
Come
them that
help
In
me.
there, like you could see us.
You can see it. RV Cafe was about 5 feet from the front to the back. You see we drowning. What you mean? You hear the orders going off. Matter of fact, DoorDash the worst. Because DoorDash drivers, they come in with an attitude from the beginning. And the DoorDash sound that when they get an order is the same sound that we get an order. So you hear it. It just ding, 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 ding. And you like, what you mad for? You see the amount of orders we got. So, I mean, for real, it was cool to go through. It was cool to see, but it was rough. It was ugly.
I was gonna say,
It
I
was
don't know about the
ugly.
cool part.
It was ugly.
Because I think I told a few drivers,
Yes.
you won't come back here and cook it.
Nicole used to fight drivers, like legit. They used to come up in there scared. They used to come in. Ma'am, can I speak? Please? I got an order for such and such. Yeah, because that's what you need. Like that's the next thing. Like delivery is so. How do you say it? Like the business of doing DoorDash and Uber Eats and Grubhub and things like that. All of those things are so separated. It's one service that's just like disjointed into so many different people's like hands, and then you have the different people who care on different levels, because the flow of food from we order the food, we prep the food, we make the food, we put the food in the box, and then give it to a driver, and then that driver to get it to the customer. That's a lot of different hands, So previously to this, it was you get delivery from a pizza place or a Chinese food place, and it's pretty much the same people. Like your Chinese food man driver
used to deliver
probably was also cooking your food back there as well. Mm-hmm. So, at least prepping. So it's like they're all on one team where they care. Now it's like the driver may or may not care based on what's going on in their life. If you have a person that's packing the food, they may or may not care. Mm-hmm. And, it just goes up the chain from there. And it's just like, you have to have, we have to obviously always have that relationship building. I was just at a place the other day, and guy was like, well, I just sit here at the counter and give drivers the orders. And it's like, yeah, that's not really an important job. But I'm like, that's kind of the most important job in this, especially because if you don't have a relationship with the drivers and say, you didn't put out the food on a timely manner for them, they're going to leave. And then once they come a second or third time, they're going to build a expectation of your place and say, oh, well, they're never ready. So if they get an order, they can be like, I'm going to go ahead and, go to 7-Eleven, go get gas.
Or refuse it. And maybe there's not another driver to take it in their place.
So now your orders are sitting waiting. And the thing about it is the customer doesn't know. And I don't want to say don't care, because it is somewhat of that, but I think they don't do enough due diligence in themselves to say, well, whose fault is it that I got this food late? Really? And it's because it's one system. They ordered from this system, and they're like, it told me I'm going to get my food in 25 minutes. It's 25 minutes, I didn't get my food. They're not really figuring out, well, was the driver late? Was the restaurant late? Whose fault is it? And unfortunately, sometimes they're just not going to order from that place anymore. And so if you don't kind of build a relationship with your driver, say, hey, I apologize, I know it's late, here's a bottle of water, here's a cookie, here's a something, bag of chips, whatever, you can go to the bathroom, things like that. It's like they're not going to come. And so every piece of this is important, and you have to do every single piece and consistently. So every week we would improve ourselves in different areas, from it, oh, we don't care what the drivers think, to, all right, let's need a glass of water, XYZ.
Yeah, we see you every day.
Yeah.
So we at least know your name.
Yeah. I mean, and that's how she said, we built a delivery service inadvertently where drivers was coming in there. And I'm like, well, we are doing some of our own deliveries. We gotta need another driver. You come over here, drive for us. Mm-hmm. So I mean, that was cool to kind of do that, not on purpose.
Do you see do you feel like just other spaces that you could have kind of built upon that you kind of missed? Now you wouldn't do it different, right? Because it worked the way you went, but were there some processes or strategies that you would have worked on that you didn't? You know what I mean? Like when you sat down and you thought about how to build delivery and you broke it up to know that Grubhub is built for self-delivery, and that DoorDash probably wasn't the best app to do self-delivery. Mm-hmm. But we did have it for other brands that we had, the salads brand, and then the kids had a brand. Mm-hmm. But would you have done something differently, in terms of building what we have for online sales?
$19.99. Only that.
Oh, but we can't release that, right? That's not public information. All right. So other than that,
No, I mean, for real though. I mean, I don't think so. I think
would you have released some apprehension? Would you have pulled back some and kind of, you know what I mean? Look at even right now, I don't think the folks see this tablet. This is a tablet. This is an ordering tablet. This life-size standing ordering tablet. I mean,
I mean, but we tried that because Grubhub started that. Remember, we had
have that up front.
a Grubhub tablet, a self-ordering tablet at the front that we trialed, and I thought it was the greatest thing because I mean, people started using it. It would come in automatically. It would print a ticket. They didn't have to really wait because we were so busy. So I mean, I really honestly don't think so. I think everything happened really how it needed to happen, and again, I can't say I'm the most spiritual person or connected person to that, but you know, I definitely believe your steps are always ordered, and I definitely believe that when we were just putting in the good work and doing what we were supposed to do, I mean things were just kind of falling in our lap, really, of saying, all right, you've done a good job. Here's the next opportunity. We've never been at a loss of opportunity, at least, and now it's like now I have to consult you guys and be like, all right, I got this opportunity. Is it a good idea or is it not? So it's like I don't think so. I think we did what we did, and I mean there's nothing else to even say we could do better in, because even if I say that, it's like I feel like it'd have been skipping steps. I feel like it'd have been something where we had to go through each phase and even the ugly phase of it to make it even worse, like even make it and feel it being that bad, and then say, okay, how do we improve, or how do we get better in X, Y, and Z factors? So no, I mean, what about you guys? I mean, again, it's a big thing, because this is my thing. Like, even when we would be drowning in tickets, I love cooking, so I'm good,
I mean, I think what I would have changed, I mean, looking at this weekend where I had a meltdown, guys. But I answered the phone for an order check, and I mean, this guy like slams me like off the gate. But I knew at that very moment that I was not going to do what I did 2 years ago. I wasn't going to receive verbal abuse, because there's nothing in what we do is intentionally negative or wrongdoing. We're just so busy because literally everyone is ordering breakfast at breakfast time.
Like you said, the whole process is disjointed, where if you seen the line that you was in, you wouldn't complain.
You wouldn't, right, because you would see it. And so, and even at night now, when we have these overnight tickets, it's like, well, everybody wants a chicken tender and a chicken burger. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants a fries that's going in the fryer. There's so many things that we could put in the fryer at one time for us to give you fresh food, and to provide the integrity that it deserves, right? That fresh, made to order stamp that we have always presented. Like, there's nothing you can just walk in here and say, "Can I have?" and we have it ready in 2 minutes, except for our desserts. I mean, which is just nothing. Maybe and coffee. In fact, even the coffee ain't even. It's made to order. You gotta wait. Yeah. And so, what I would, me saying all that and coming back to the table is like, I would have shut off the phones back then. I mean, I would have. I mean, no disrespect and no lack of appreciation. I'm definitely not trying to show that, but like, I literally put in a phone system to encourage more calls. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I did.
We had a 2-line commercial business phone that you could call if one line was
for placing orders, the other
and then
for
we still had the cell phone. I mean, I literally created the demise of my PTSD.
You did that to yourself, sure.
I did. Like, and I won't do it again. Like, I appreciate all the business, all the support. We do our best to provide the best service and quality food. But I just won't trade that for my mind stability of, I guess my food's going to be cold. No, because I just delivered an order last night in 20-degree weather, and when I lifted up the bag, the bottom of the bag was still hot. And
and those will be those factors too of just, like you said, you'll get slammed on the phone for certain things, for the timeliness and this and this and that, but, it'll be those instances where, we got the ticket, we cooked the food, and we brought it to you. You know, like we did everything to get this food to you, and
except feed you. You know, and so I that for me, that's what I would have done differently. I would have not been so apprehensive to not be available for every whim. Now, the caveat to that, though, is that if we have a customer who's truly calling in to say, well, I did this and I needed to change it, or, they can't really get us because we're changing it to dispatch. So, I mean, I don't know if that's kind of been worked on yet, but I do kind of feel for those people who truly have a concern. But, Sunday we rocked out without a phone. I mean, because that got called pretty early on in the whole service. And the phone was done. So, and it felt good because I can focus on the drivers. I can focus on making sure that order is coming out. I'm expoing, I'm packing it correctly. I'm getting it out without leaving anything. It's the phone is very distracting.
But see, I feel like that's why currently we're working on building, the relationships between our drivers and our customers. Like you said, kind of repairing that disjointedness of, especially the self-delivery orders. You're gonna get your communications from your drivers constantly. They're here. They know if the food is being made. They know if it's not being made. Just kind of keeping the customers in the loop. And usually that's from running dispatch. That's one of the things that I've learned is that just any communication will buy you some time. Just hey, we see your ticket. We'll buy you another 15 minutes. We're making it now. We're short on this thing, but we're working on it. We'll buy you another 20 minutes.
So we're waiting for your driver to come and get it. It's coming out the kitchen right now. We're putting it in a bag, and the driver's on its way to get it. I mean, that has definitely sold us, but you got to stop what you're doing to give that communication in the restaurant. Yeah. So I mean, that's what I would change. I don't know. What about you, Patrick?
Well, throughout if we're talking about the beginnings and onward, I wouldn't have changed anything really because, like you said, I feel like that would have been skipping steps. Even just seeing my journey through it of, like I said, just delivering orders and then waiting, and then delivering orders and then washing dishes, and then delivering orders, washing dishes, cook this thing and leave, and then just all right, well now you wash dishes and cook, just throw stuff on the grill and this and that, and just as that progressed, I don't know, like I just feel like it was all needed. I feel like it added to my mentality, but in a step-by-step digestible process. Like I felt my growth gradually due to that consistency. Yeah. And I feel like that's not something that I wouldn't necessarily replace that because I feel like having the lesson or the principle without the context and the substance is actually more hindering. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather have the whole journey of the lesson. And the references that I can kind of mentally go back to all right, well, I can say don't put your hand on the stove, but unless you have that memory that links to, my hand, what I'm saying? Burn. So I don't know, I appreciate all the little pieces, the little details. I feel like that makes the consistency, and that's literally what brought us to this point. And to, for you to have that context of whether or not to answer the phone. Even if you just, all right, well, I'm going to answer it every other time. Or just something like that. But it's based on something. So yeah,
I mean, that I touched the stove and it's hot and I'm not trying to touch it
we know again. It's hot, sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I feel like there's another space for us to get into, for us to grow our dine-in service. I mean, that is kind of lacking. And I feel like we do all this and we have this huge front space that stays empty when we utilized, in the past. And so I think like the next phase is really, now that we're consistent, now that we paid homage to the past, of where we started, I think the next step is how do we grow the pieces that we have brought together and take it to the next level. I mean, because we can't just sit in, we're running from dining. Yeah, we have a whole storefront.
I don't think it's running. I mean, I think we know what our strength is, because people open up restaurants all day and they have dine-ins and they do all of this, and it's a different business. We run a different business. We don't run a dine-in business.
I feel like I feel like by dynamic, we just don't draw that in. Except for Sunday when we're trying to leave.
By dynamic, we can't handle it. Because that's not, like you said, that's not the business that we've built.
Yeah.
We're built to be efficient in this kind of quick service delivery. Mm-hmm. We fill in kind of each other's gaps of this kind of self-contained machine. As soon as one of us gets pulled away from that, we flail a little bit. We kind of make do, but that's where we see a pressure point for sure.
Yeah, I think even if we were to the next growth phase would just like be a quick service, be like a Chipotle, Mezza, something like that, where it's like people need to see the line that they, because people online, they don't see
on
a
top
line.
Of the line that we have virtually.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They don't see the line that you can say a virtual line on DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, whatever. They don't see, I ordered now, but I'm 42 tickets behind the next person. They don't see that. But I think even in a quick service, it would be something where we would have to flesh it out. But versus sitting down, even once you get sat down.
I think our Mexican brand would do well with the quick service.
Yeah, it would be. But like sitting down at a table with drinks in front of you, with stuff like that.
With service
like
to be expected.
It don't matter how busy it is. They're going to look around and where's my food? Oh, this person got my food.
Yeah.
They got their food. They came in before me.
They're not waiting there from 10 o'clock to 1.
They're not. They're not. So I think it's like, all right, well, if you didn't get called up next, then you clearly know you're not ready. So I don't know. I think that's, if I could say that's the next thing. But as long as we stay consistent in what we want to do, I think we're gonna. Again, the opportunities, they always come to us.
Yeah.
In that's your collapse of consistency is the doors will open. Mm-hmm. That's it.
That's definitely one of the things I always see of just your next step will always kind of appear in front of you. It's almost like as you're walking, the floor appears.
Yes.
So you have to always get to that point first. Like keep doing, up to where you're at. So if that makes sense, just always be on the edge.
Yeah.
And then it'll all make sense when it's time to make sense. We're at a point right now where we're talking about the next thing, but we're really not ready for it. We're still working on the current thing.
Yeah.
So like I said, the next thing will appear as soon as we're ready, like literally.
Yep. Right there. So,
but consistency is key to get to that point.
Consistency is the key.
What would you,
to the door.
What would you want to bring to, our listeners? Like, what, if you would say your last thing for, this session, like, what would you want the one thing for them to know and understand from your heart?
I mean, just for me, it's like I said, the consistency is the key. Like, really, be consistent in
no way around
what you do. And again, like I said, I'm gonna say the word continuously, but we don't really put a lot of gravity on the word. We don't really take in the amount of what the word really, really means. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where I really want to give people. It's like, for me, that is everything that my being. That's even the crux of my manhood of like, be consistent. Like, that's it. That's what my father taught me. Like, stand on your word. You say you're going to do something, do it. Like, there's nothing. Like I said, the first time I saw my dad take off of work was when I graduated Marine Corps. And I was fully grown. And that was the first time I said, oh, whoa, you taking a break? So it is what it is. Just, that's really it. And it's no, I'm going to be consistent today. And then tomorrow or next week there's a concert. And, the next week my girlfriend wanted me to go out. No, like all that got to get shut down, and you just got to be all right with it. And it's gonna feel bad. It's gonna look ugly. You're not gonna have, like I always tell people, like, I don't really got a lot of friends like that. Not because I don't want it, not because I'm an evil person. Because unless you coming to work with me, we not hanging out.
That's where I'm at.
This where you at. Like, you gotta come. You want to hang with me? Come to work. Come work.
That's his word. That's the word that he's given to you people.
So,
Come and work.
Come and work. We can be friends all day. We can hang out all the time. Come to work.
that's it. That's the podcast. Come to work.
All right, guys. Well, good session.
Being a chef is something to be proud of. You know, being a chef is something that you can actually succeed in and, you know, be great.